This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State Area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing? It's the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. Thanks for tuning in. Here we are. There you are. I'm your host, WG Bunch. Guess who's here? I think it's the co-host with... Oh, that is so cheesy.
Yeah,
I almost
like
said the cheesiest thing I could ever see.
I don't like it.
Okay, Vanessa Hankins is here. Vanessa, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good.
And we have we've got a guest coming up. Before we reveal,
Pretty awesome one.
Yes, before we reveal topic and who the guest is, you've already looked at the description of the episode, so you already know who it is. So this is not like the big reveal.
Super valid point.
Yes, exactly. So, Vanessa, tell us about that sponsor we have.
Our sponsor is Realty Exchange. You can find us online at realty-ex.com. We are the leading real estate company in the Tri-State, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, and we're also licensed in Florida.
There you go. And also special shout out to our podcast company, Circle 270 Media. If you're thinking about doing a podcast or you're doing a podcast and you're not getting the listeners that you want, you contact Circle 270 Media. We have no idea what we're doing on our end. They're the ones, yes, they're the ones that get it out there and whatnot. So thanks for listening. Now let's get into our guest and topic. All right. We have done an episode or two in the past where we talked pizza. And we did an episode where I had never had Monty's Pizza before, tried Monty's Pizza. Everoni's Pizza, never had Everoni's Pizza. There's a local pizza place in town I've had several times since I was a little kid, Gino's Pizza. And we thank so many people for sending us your feedback, your suggestions, and comments, and that kind of stuff.
We love it.
Yeah, one of the things is, are you going to talk about Gino's Pizza? Your wish is our command or demand? What is it?
I like demand.
Okay.
Because it's been said a lot, right?
I think it's your wish.
People have said it a lot.
I mean, if you're referring to a genie, it's command. But
they're demanding that we do Gino's.
Yeah, I think you're both right. Okay, here's who we have. A longtime friend of mine and a longtime friend of Vanessa's. We have Mr. Is it Mr. or Dr. Jordan Morrison?
I mean, I'm currently working on my PhD as we speak on Google.
The Lawrence County, Ohio people who were like, give us some Lawrence County, Ohio. We have got,
this is what we had. Sorry, folks.
We got Mr. Media. The instructor senior of Chesapeake High School. It is Jordan Morrison, who also happened to be let me make sure I phrase this correctly. You were a
geographical logistics expert. AKA delivery guy.
There you go.
Before GPS, right?
Yes.
Before GPS, it was, yes.
Yes.
In fact, I probably, if we have time, I'll share some stories about why, or some of the things that happened without GPS.
That's exactly
what
that's exactly what we want. We've got Jordan Morrison with us. Jordan, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, WG. It's great to be here.
Cool. All right. Let's get into. Be honest. We're not sponsored by anybody. Some people think that when we have people on the show that it's like, oh, it's because they're paying to be on the show. That is not what the show is about. Nobody pays us. So let me ask you that with that thought in mind. Be honest, Vanessa, your favorite pizza in the area. And I'll say right now, I love Gino's. Not my favorite, but what's your favorite?
So I'm not a huge pizza person. I'm more of like a breadsticks with cheese person, and I like the Tyler's breadsticks. I like the Gino's breadsticks. They're my favorite.
What are Tyler's?
Tyler's Kenny Grant.
That's the name of the breadsticks?
That's his grandson?
Tyler's bread strips.
Is that right?
It's his grandson, correct.
Yeah, and they're so good.
But, I mean, you could, just order bread strips. They'd know what you were talking about. But they are Tyler's breadsticks, and I suggest with cheese, personally.
Yes.
And, okay, so it's basic. I mean, I'm a dum-dum. It's pizza crust without anything on it. I mean, is that really what it is?
Well, it's the same dough, because I used to have to make the dough back in the day, which...
How did you do that?
We had a huge mixing machine. Now, I don't know the exact measurements because everything came kind of pre-measured for you. You just kind of... But the big trick for making pizza dough, I recall, was getting the right temperature of the water. I don't recall that temperature, but it was near lukewarm. It was in like a 50 or 60 degree temperature you wanted.
Wait a second. How old would you have been at this point?
Okay, so this was just out of high school. I started working there in 2001, so I was about 19, 20 years old.
And so your thing was so you're in the kitchen.
Right.
This is like in a big cauldron pot thing.
I mean, it wasn't bubbling over and we weren't doing any kind of witchcraft, but...
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because that sounds
I
way
was
cooler.
doing it, but
Yes.
not at Gino's.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so you have to mix. I know there's sugar, yeast, like I said, the lukewarm water, obviously flour.
So it's not a mix.
So, like,
It's not pre-made.
It's not a mix that comes from Cisco or something.
At least 20 years ago, I can't verify nowadays, but 20 years ago when I worked there, plus 20 years ago, whatever, we had to make our own dough, and we'd make it the night before, and you'd have to ball it out in the different sizes, because the 16-inch pizza is going to require more dough than a personal 11-inch or whatever.
Sure.
Tyler's was, I can't remember what Tyler's was, but it was the same dough. Now, getting back to the bread strips, there was a special seasoning that we put on the dough.
Now, you keep using bread strips and bread sticks
It's
interchangeably.
true.
Same thing.
Which one is it?
I think,
Same thing.
Officially on the menu, I think it's bread sticks.
I think it's
we don't want our listeners to show up to Gino's and
I'm gonna
say
Google it.
one and then have them
Yes,
go
they're gonna
get
have
out of
bread
here.
dancing on a pole as bread strips. So yeah, I don't think. So yes, 6
Online
in one, half a
ordering.
dozen in the other.
Yes, bread strips.
So
bread strips, very nice.
when I was doing my research on Gino's, because I told WG I don't know a whole lot about Gino's, I read that the owner didn't have the
Kenny?
equipment. Yeah, he didn't have the equipment to make the bread. So he had a local bakery make his dough when he first started Gino's,
That
which
might
is
be
funny
true.
that
Could be.
there's this exact.
And anybody that knows anything about Gino's, of course, we got to give all of our love and a huge shout out to Kenny Grant.
Absolutely.
Good old Kenny G.
He started the OG Kenny G.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, my favorite Kenny Grant quote of all time is, the original Gino's was so small that you had to go outside to change your mind.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes. But okay, all right. So let's go back to Jordan is our Gino's expert. Now, you were in the delivery business.
I was in the delivery business.
For
now,
4 years?
I would work several different, jobs there.
Right.
But I was hired on as a delivery guy.
Okay.
So.
And I guess the general question is, what is that? I mean,
What is delivering like?
yeah. I mean, do you have a couple? Because here's the other thing. Today, when you order a pizza and it's delivered, there's a $2 delivery fee.
Right.
Plus, then there's gratuity expected.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Does the $2 delivery fee go to the driver or not?
Typically, I think most of the time businesses will even be up front. I don't believe the delivery fee goes to the driver at most places.
Okay.
I don't. If we had a delivery fee at all, it was $1, and I never saw that. So,
That's like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
So much has changed with
Right.
Uber Eats and all
this
that
is also,
stuff now.
there's Gino's everywhere in West Virginia. This was the Gino's Pizza Express, located in South Point, just across from where Sam's Club is. So
Also, one of my favorite basketball teams, the Gino's,
The Gino's
Pizza Express.
man.
Did they take it to Marshall that one year? Wow.
Is that real?
No, not at all.
Oh, see, I I knew I was going to be a bystander in this episode. I knew, like, I'm just not funny.
No,
like
right.
you
No.
two.
Anyway, go ahead.
But we were honored. I was honored to be a part of the Gino's Pizza Express in South Point. So delivering in Lawrence County versus.
Now I can't let it go. Starting at point guard, number 11, Jordan.
Why would I be
Jordan.
number 11? That's offensive.
What's
just
wrong with 11?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But so
On a
like,
scale from 1 to 10, you're at an 11, Jordan.
right. I'm not sure why he brings guests on when he doesn't want to hear what they say.
He does that. He does that. Like, that's a thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Nothing but love for you.
Okay,
WG.
I got you. Go ahead.
But when you think of Huntington Geno's, I mean they're kind of everywhere. So at any point you have delivery from a Huntington branch, they're probably within a 5 mile or 5 minute radius or so from wherever you're at.
Right.
With Lawrence County, I mean we literally had the whole spread from, if you're familiar with Lawrence County at all, we'd go all the way up to Lick Creek Road and then all the way down, kind of just before you get into Proctorville, like where Bradrick is.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was a
That's
huge
like quite
spread.
a
And all
drive.
the back roads and all that stuff.
Athalia
Yeah.
is too far? Or?
Athalia was too far, for
Okay,
sure.
gotcha. Okay.
But, and typically I was the only driver on at certain shifts or whatever. So you get one delivery at Leo's Carryout there in South Point. And then the next one's in Brentwood Village.
Oh, that's right. Because I guess Gino's are in. They're not just freestanding. Sometimes they're in. Are they?
A lot of them have, like, tutors attached.
well,
right?
they used to. I don't know if that's still the case or not.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just referring to the delivery radius.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm sorry.
Is massive. It was several miles long. So, you try to deliver, like I said, to South Point somewhere up, in South Point, and then your next delivery's in Brentwood and Chesapeake.
Right.
Well, if both of those orders come out at the same time, you've got to take them both with you, and you just got to go to the first one in
One's
South
gonna
Point
be
and hope
cold
for the
and one's
best.
gotta
Yeah.
be not.
So it was tricky trying to keep things warm. I'd blast my heater and keep them in the leather bound pizza bags that they had.
You're leading me to my question, which is,
I didn't know they were leather.
did you have like those silver thermal bags?
Well,
or-
these were red, because the Gino's
Gino.
color
okay.
scheme there.
But you didn't have like portable ovens.
No,
or,
these
I
did
didn't
not
know.
like plug into your,
Cigarette lighter.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. These just, you just hoped for the best and went with it. So
Now, approximately what years would this have been when you were the Gino's delivery king?
this was 2001.
Okay.
And I went to college in 2003, and then I came back and worked another year or two. So I overall accumulated about 3 to 4 years at
It's
Gino's.
making a lot more sense to me why we didn't have pizza delivered where I lived, because we were like way out in
Right.
Banffy and Chesapeake.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And-
What do you mean? Where'd you live? Where would you have been?
so I lived out Buffalo Creek,
I have a funny story about Buffalo.
and we never ordered food, but I just assumed it's because we were poor. But probably because my parents
You
were smart
assumed
enough.
because you were poor.
No, we delivered Buffalo
because we had
Creek.
5 kids, man. Like, imagine having to order food for 5 kids. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
so I just assumed like we just didn't eat out. But
I don't have any money, and I don't have any kids.
I mean, I'm willing to buy you guys food. Is that what this is all about?
Now, Jordan just had a quote that no one's ever said on the show. I have a funny story about Buffalo Creek.
yeah, I want
That's
to.
never
I
been
can't-
said on this show?
No,
Oh,
so you
okay, well,
you
take
had
it away, Jordan.
You had us at hello.
Okay, so we had mentioned before that the GPS was not a thing back when I was delivering
Right.
pizza. So I'd have to pretty much call almost every time. Because I mean, this wasn't even the orders weren't even taken on a computer. This was all handwritten on the little paper slips
Right.
with the carbon copy and whatnot. So this order just said, so many miles out Buffalo Creek, and that was the only directions on my receipt that I had. So I'm like, well, are they on the left, on the right?
Right, well, and
things
there's
a
lots of
delivery
little
guy has to
roads.
think about.
Right.
So I called them back. I was like, hey, this is Jordan at Gino's. Your food's about up. I just want to know specifically, where am I going with this? And they said, well, it's a couple miles out Buffalo Creek. I was like, okay, I have that. Is this, are you guys on the left side or right side? Is there a car, like any
Do
kind
you
of
pass the
landmark
little
or something?
store
Right.
on the
So
right?
They told me, and I swear this is true, that they told me, well, our son's out there in the yard. He's blind. He's kind of jumping around. Just look
Shut
for him.
Did you say he's
mouth.
blind?
Yes.
He's
And
jumping
he's just jumping around in the yard,
Just
so
look
he'll
for
probably
him.
still be out there when you get here. Look for that. So I'm like, okay, I'll take that.
And
So-
people fly out that road,
Yeah.
like, and you're letting your blind
I've
child.
seen a few collisions out that road delivering pizzas, and I'm like, you okay, buddy? All right, I got to get this food out. I'll be back.
Oh, my-
yeah.
I hit a guardrail and like flew in the air. But anyway, so this one, so couple miles out, Buffalo Creek on the left. Sure enough, there's this kind of kid just jumping around,
Shut your mouth, Jordan.
And,
we're going on a road trip after this. You're showing me
Buffalo,
where the
showing
blind
the
kid lived.
All right. And
For all the listeners right now, I am not laughing at this.
I'm not no.
I'm laughing at the parents.
No, but
that's
I'm
hilarious.
I'm suffocating the laughter.
Oh, okay.
I don't want okay, because I have to hear the rest of the story.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I get there. Sure enough, kids, kind of just moving around, and so I pull, and it's a driveway that's on an incline too, which is it's hard to escape quickly. So I pull in.
It's coming out. I can't help it.
So I get out, and I'm like, and I see him, and
he doesn't
see you.
He doesn't see
it
you.
was on the tip of my tongue. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, I wanted to explain who I was. So I was like, hey, I'm Jordan with Gino's. I got the pizza. And he kind of shuffled over to me, and he's like, I'll take him. And he's kind of feeling around for the dimensions of the box. And then and then I think they had like 3 pizzas. So I was a little nervous,
Yeah.
That spills over. That means I've got to go back, and I've already got these other deliveries all across Ohio.
Your evening screwed.
Right.
So he takes him, and he gets up to the front door, and just goes right into literally bumps into the door because they had shut it, and then he's like,
Why are his parents?
But
Why are his parents assholes?
Hello, hell.
Yeah.
Do you have a reservation for me?
By the way, this is
'Cause
a regular.
I'm here to check in. Go ahead.
This was a regular order too. Like I went to this place often.
Oh no!
But he
Did he know you after a while? Was it like, is it Jordan?
Hey, Jordan.
I think I probably just would leave it on the doorstep and run away as quickly as possible. But
Okay, go ahead.
He made it into the house finally, and they come out. I ended up losing like $1 because they didn't give me the right amount. I rarely got tips at some of these places, but I was just like, screw the $1. I'm getting the hell out of here, and I got to go. So that's just one of my many delivery experiences.
You gotta tell him. I need a last name after we're done recording.
I have no idea.
You don't remember? Oh my god!
Is his last name Wonder? Was he in the front yard going, my Sherry?
Yeah, Stevie Wonder. WG, just move on.
As a beautiful day.
Shut up! Look at his face.
Oh my God. Well, you just lost half your viewership, I think. But
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
Lord.
Well, that was interesting.
well, thank you.
Okay, let's piggyback on it.
Okay.
Do you have another one? Do you have any? You probably have 50.
I have.
We have time. Because that's golden.
Well, thank you.
Anything else?
Just like our crust.
Yeah. The dude.
Kenny Hire.
Yeah, Kenny has
Marketing 101.
Kenny Grant has a chip in Jordan's head.
Yeah.
Where he's like golden, just like the crust. Go ahead.
Kenny G is God.
Kenny G is not just the best.
Kenny Grant.
He's not just the best alto sax player ever. He is also the best
piece of.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I don't want to necessarily. Granted, I delivered most of the time, but like I said, I worked in the kitchen too. So, one of the jobs though, as the driver, and this is not a delivery story, but this is just the hell that I went through for Gino's, and it was worth it because I really did enjoy those times, but. When you have to change the sign, like the marquees with the lettering in the middle of winter, and you're on a ladder because that sign, I don't know if you're familiar with what used to be Gino's.
Yeah, and you had like one of those big telescoping.
No, we didn't get. No, we had to climb on a ladder and do each.
Oh,
individual.
really?
Yeah. So you'd have the letter. So you'd have to spell out. Oh. And Tuesday was the worst because we'd have two for Tuesday pizza and pasta. Buy one, get one free.
Oh my!
And so you had to first of all make that stack it up before you even go out there, so that you can just hurry up and get them on. Well, then you get them up on the ladder, and the ladder's the only kind of base you have to. So your letters would always fall off the damn thing, and then you'd have to rescatter them, get them back in the right order. But and it was a 2-sided sign.
Right.
So we, in the middle winter, it's
now what location are you?
This is the one. Again, it's not there. No, this is in South Point.
Okay, gotcha.
Burlington. I've never known when that stopped.
Such a kinder human than me. Like that would have happened to me once of it blowing away, and I'd been like, I don't need this job.
It was part of the gig, man.
Yeah.
If you wanted the credentials of being a Gino's delivery guy, you had to do the job.
See, my thing would be if I ever had to do the letters at the pub. On Fifth Avenue, which is a one-way street.
Right.
I would do what you did on the front end, but then on the back side where no one saw it,
I
would put something like,
right.
I'd be something like, keep driving, punk, or just something dumb.
Yeah, because no one parked there and would see the other side.
That's true. I would have got fired very quickly.
Right.
All All right, so go ahead.
So anyway, you'd have to do this 2 for Tuesday pizza or pasta, buy one get one free. So that was just hell in the middle of winter time. I had gloves, but you couldn't maneuver those damn plastic letters with gloves on. So it was just, so I'd finish it after like 30 minutes of freezing, and then I'd just go by the pizza oven to kind of warm up. So it looked like a sad little boy freezing.
Are you the guy that put on the marquee? It must have been one winter. It said chili. Yes, I am.
That was an all-time bad for you.
Nobody laugh. Nobody laugh. Nobody at home laugh.
No
listeners laugh.
I'm so sorry, viewers.
Let's enjoy the silence, as Depeche Mode was saying.
Right.
Just a second.
Enjoy the silence.
Exactly. Hold on. Everybody have that sink in. Congratulations, you were just a victim of the worst joke
I was going to say, you really missed your calling of being the dad with the dad joke.
Right.
No, I'm exactly. Yes. Even after it came out of my mouth, I went, that is just terrible.
It was bad.
Anyway, so all right, well, good. So you had your infamy with the marquee,
Sure. Yes.
and with the cooking of the dough or
dough making
dough prep,
yes,
and the delivery.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I also had to fold boxes. I can fold a box pretty well. I don't know if I can now, but back in the day,
done that.
They have like contests.
I mean, because
we should have brought in boxes and
had a little
I
time.
would have been awful at it.
Yeah,
That's what you should do, get some delivery guys from all the different pizza places and have a little competition for you.
Okay.
Or not. I don't know. That's not really going to be an audible thing. No. That's not really great for a podcast.
We'll do it in 2 or 3 years after I get my surgeries done, and then I'm more camera friendly.
Right.
Yes. As soon as I get my cheek implants
Let me get these braces off.
Yeah.
Maybe shave a little
my
bit.
Veneers and the whole 9 yards. Yes. As soon as I start looking more Wink Martindale-ish.
Right. Oh yes.
Start looking like that headshot you've got.
How dare you make fun of the headshot? That headshot is actually a portrait over my couch, and my girlfriend seems to love it.
I can imagine that.
Yes,
It's probably why she dates you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. She also is. She's also like the kid in the yard. She's blind.
Oh.
But anyway, so all right. All right. So Jordan, you're the media teacher at Chesapeake High School.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about
how Gino's got me that job.
No.
Whichever segueing.
We don't have to have a bridge.
Okay.
But just tell, because there was no. I think we had a television class back in the 30s
like
when
AV
I went to school.
Club or something like
exactly.
that.
So tell us what exactly do you teach, and where do you see students? Where's their most interest? I mean,
right.
Please hold. I have a question first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did Channel Paul turn into what is now your class, or
sort of?
Is Channel Paul a thing
Paul,
still?
So anybody who's ever gone to Chesapeake, Channel Paul was the middle school kind of news.
Oh, it wasn't the middle school,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that wasn't really high school, but it was
for some reason.
when this. Okay, I'll just give you the whole background. And sorry,
sorry.
Kenny Grant, that we're totally
No,
not
that's
talking
fine.
about you at the moment.
I asked.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead.
So when I was because I graduated from Chesapeake. When I was a junior in high school, that's when they first brought the video class. And at that point,
okay.
it was only a news class, like we did a live news report in the morning.
That's what I was thinking of, because then
only.
they did the Channel 1 news after or before or something like that.
So
Okay.
we had WPKE is what it was called in high
Okay,
school, and
okay.
W Paul was the middle school version, which
Got it.
same thing.
That's like everybody goes to their homeroom, and then
Right,
it's
and
on
it's like,
TV,
"Today
and it's
we're
like,
gonna have grilled cheese."
yeah, yeah.
Whoa, breaking!
Yeah, exactly.
Green beans today.
It's like the head cheerleader. in
We
football
thought it was
player.
going to be tomato soup, but it's going to be chili. We upgraded.
Cook surprise. Good luck.
Yep, exactly.
But then as it progressed, I graduated and went into video production because of that class. And then it progressed into pretty much now there's 8 class periods a day at Chesapeake High School,
So you
and
have
I
a
teach
full-
7 class periods, and I have 1 planning period.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Now, are you teaching mostly on? I mean, is it online? I mean, do people come to? I mean, I'm an old dude.
Right.
Do people come into your class and just say, I want to learn how to be a TikTok. I want to be an influencer. I mean, is that a thing? Or
well, no.
not?
I mean, students don't typically come into a class and tell the teacher what they want out
But
of the class.
do you see people that you think that's
I
kind
think
of
a
what
lot.
they want?
I have seen people who think
That's what
they're
they're
going to be
getting
like
into.
TikTok famous or something, and this
Yeah.
is. But it's an elective. It's not a required class. And I'll be honest, I love Chesapeake, but we do have, we're kind of limited on what we can offer. It's a smaller school. We only have 300 or 400 students in the entire high school. So, there's an art class, there's band, and then there's video. I mean, there are a couple of other electives, but there's not a lot to choose from.
Video is cool, though.
So, sometimes people just kind of get pushed in there that never even wanted it just because it's the only thing available at that point.
Yeah.
But typically, those kids tend to really like it and end up coming back. Because I teach 3 curriculums, meaning I have a basic video 1 class, a basic video 2, and then an advanced. So kids can take my class up to 3 to 4 years, like their entire high school career if they want to.
And these kids, WG, like they love him. Like he's
stop
making like lasting impacts on the. Like I just think that's so cool. Like I know that you're my brother-in-law and all that good stuff, but it really is.
Full truth comes out. This
it
is
is
why
like
really
super cool.
Because
I loved Mr. Pemberton. Like he was my favorite human in the school district. So to know that kids are still being able to connect with teachers on that level, like I think is awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I love the whole process and video production especially, but the thing that's kept me as a teacher, because that's just all kind of happened out of just chance, me getting this job in the first place.
Right.
But the thing that's kept me there are the kids. And I know that's cliche to say or whatever, but
I
just really enjoy it. They are like, I don't have children of my own, sadly. We tried, but, we don't have to get into that.
Wow. Yeah, let's turn the ship around.
Wow. But it's nice to still have that kind of connection with these kids and to see them go on. A lot of the kids take the class, they love it. They don't necessarily pursue video production outside of high school, but,
it's a cool skill
still
set,
to this day, they'll come back and say, hey, because of this, I was able to do this, or I just, you're the teacher or the class I missed the most, and it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
All right, so we want to thank Jordan Morrison. If you're in high school, if you're not at Chesapeake High School, you can't
transfer. You can't.
He's famous on YouTube.
Because I know you
knew that.
Oh, are you? Do you have YouTube videos?
I shoot a lot, so there's a lot of videos on you, mostly weddings, but there's some fun things there too.
Oh, okay.
You want to? Sure, I'll plug it if you want to look up Morrison Studios, no spaces, not the words no spaces, but Morrison Studios together. On YouTube, you can check out some of my.
Our audience too well.
Yes, I know.
Not more.
MorrisonStudios.
Yes,
rewind that if you didn't quite hear it.
All right, so we've got Captain Gino's. Last question, I promise. If somebody wants to feel like a big boss,
right?
And they roll up to Gino's.
And how could you not at any Gino's anyway?
Exactly.
Right there.
You roll up in your Kia,
yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to own this place.
Most of the people in Huntington, it's a moped, I think, but yes.
One of those electric bike things. Yeah. So when you get
3 tickets to hell, we're right in there.
when you get up there, I'm a pub witch guy.
Right. Pub witch is great. Now I can improve your pub witch.
Okay. Oh, you're going to take the pub witch and go up.
Oh man, and this we call the stub witch. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy Jeff Harmon, who worked with us at Gino's Pizza Express. Jeff his nickname was Stub, and he would make the pub witch in this fashion, so it became the stub witch. If you go to any Gino's, they're not going to know what the hell you're talking about. So you just need to specify what it is.
Right.
So pub witch, you have your regular ham pub witch.
Okay.
What you want to do is request the flaked ham.
Okay.
Instead of the regular sliced ham.
Okay.
Also, instead of mayonnaise, you want to ask for they call it the ham sauce, which doesn't sound appetizing, but my God, it's delicious. It's
so far between stubwitch, ham sauce, and stuff like that.
I right. Some really disgusting
Not the most appetizing,
right.
but go ahead.
I swear. Okay, so
go.
So you order a pub witch, but with the flaked ham and the flaked ham sauce. So it's the sauce they put on a regular flaked ham sandwich.
Okay.
But we call it the ham sauce, or at least we did 20 years ago.
Okay.
All right, so pub witch, flaked ham with the ham sauce. It'll change your life.
And it's called, but don't go up and say.
We call it the stub witch, but again,
Kenny,
no one knows what that means.
I think it should be added to the menu
probably.
If you're listening to this. Let's call it the stub witch.
Jeff Harmon, if you ordered, you know what you're talking about. What we're talking about, but otherwise.
Yes, but order that, and then you can impress your friends by saying you're having a stub witch.
I actually was doing a documentary, sorry to go on, but we were traveling to Europe, and we had some friends come in from Europe first. They came to experience West Virginia, and then it was all about
for the stub
and
witch.
I took them for the pub witch, the stub witch version, and it was amazing to them. It was the best food they probably had in America when they came here.
Why don't they have it on the menu?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kenny, come on, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get that stub witch going.
You have foreigners coming into Huntington, West Virginia. What's the first thing you take them to do? The Stub Witch.
Thanks so much for listening. And Vanessa, take us out.
We are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.